Hey, what's going on, Flix Talkers? Got a special series review for Cobra Kai Season 4, which does come out on Netflix December 31st, 2021. And big shout out to the amazing people at Netflix who sent me this advanced screener to review for you Flix Talkers today. Now, obviously, I'm assuming if you clicked on this video, it's because you guys have seen seasons 1 through 3, but don't be afraid, don't click off yet, guys, because this is a spoiler-free review, meaning I'm only gonna let you guys know what's coming up in season 4 vaguely and just going over what they already released in the trailer that Netflix did put out recently. And before we do get into it, let me know in the comments below, are you guys Team Cobra Kai? Are you Team Miyagi-Do? Or are you Team Eagle Fang Karate? I would love to hear in the comments below. Alright, so I think it's extremely awesome that we picked up exactly where we left off in season 3 with Daniel and Johnny teaming up, something that I really never thought I would see, but Johnny has put his ego to the side and has brought over Eagle Fang Karate to Miyagi-Do. Now, obviously, you guys know their methods of teaching are way different, and we get to see a lot of conflict along the way, not only when it comes to teaching their students, but when it comes to themselves as a teacher, as a sensei. And I thought that was extremely important to convey, as these two are different, polar opposites at some points. For the most part, they are. I would say Daniel is a little more level-headed with Miyagi-Do, and Johnny is a rock star, still kicking ass in his glory days of the 80s. At least that's where he thinks he is mentally, and he thinks those core values still hold true in 2021. But it's interesting, in this series, we actually see Daniel LaRusso going off the deep end sometimes, and hey, wanting to get on the offense more than defense, what he's been taught from Mr. Miyagi and teaching his students in Miyagi-Do. Now, it's no surprise it is shown that Robby is back, one of my favorite characters of the whole series, guys. I absolutely love Robby, played by Tanner Buchanan. I think he's an exceptional upcoming star on the rise. Yeah, he did She's All That, but we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about Robby Keene, and this is a more angry Robby Keene than we have ever seen. Damn, that rhymed. And now he's back with a vengeance, as he is joining up with Cobra Kai. And I thought it was awesome because just like in 80s movie fashion, it sometimes does fit the tropes of those cheesy 80s 90s action films, but it does hold true in modern times. If someone was double-crossed or felt that they were double-crossed, that they would join the opposing side. And once again, no spoilers here, but it is said in the trailer that Robby is now teaching Miyagi-Do defense to his Cobra Kai students, and I thought that was insane, because it's like, okay, Robby's giving the playbook to Cobra Kai, what the hell is Miyagi-Do gonna do? Also, next up, we are introduced to some new characters and some old characters that really weren't focused on in the last couple of seasons, but they have a story arc like no other in this one, and I think it's really important, especially to the youngsters that are just being introduced to Cobra Kai. I think they're gonna have a more of appreciation for this show watching this. Obviously, this was more targeted to an older demographic that really grew up with the Karate Kid or kind of remembered that nostalgia, and then they started adding a lot of the teen drama in along the way. Now we're getting a little younger. I will just say that. Not letting you know who's stepping up at all or who's being introduced, because it's not in the trailer, but I really like that story arc, and by the end of the series, I was like, whoa. At first, I was wondering, how far can this series go from here? But when the introduction of these new characters come into light and the motivation to why they're angry and fighting, I was like, this can go on for such a long time. So kudos to the writers for keeping me on the edge of my seat, as well as William Zabka for that reason. He is an executive producer, and he has a lot to do behind the scenes with Cobra Kai. Alright guys, now another character they do focus a lot on, and I did fall in love with her in the last couple of seasons. Her story arc was amazing, and in this one, it's like no other. She's being bullied and beaten left and right through situations and life. It's like a domino effect for this woman. I'm talking about Tory. Just like Robby, I think Tory is one of the more stronger characters on this show, and I was actually really impressed by her, especially since I haven't caught any of her films that she's in. This is kind of my introduction to Tory Nichols, played by Peyton List, and I think she's doing a phenomenal job. Once again, no spoilers at all, but just know that she's having a very, very tough time, and if you guys have caught the last couple of seasons with her, you guys know that she comes from a broken home. That is talked about a lot more in this season, and by the end, I really felt for Tory's motivation and her redemption arc. I thought she did such a great job in this season. And one of the biggest cliffhangers in season 3 and a huge part of season 4 is the return of Terry Silvers, played by Thomas Ian Griffin. Now, I'll be honest, I never caught the sequels to The Karate Kid. I know. I should have done my due diligence and watched them, because The Karate Kid 2 is a movie that is focused on a lot in this season as far as characters go. Now, if you guys do remember from the last couple of seasons, especially last season, we do get introductions from other characters from The Karate Kid 2. And just like in Cobra Kai series fashion, we do get flashbacks, so we're not completely in the dark about who these characters are. We know exactly who they are to Daniel LaRusso and why he hates them so much, and this is a character villain that Daniel LaRusso really does disdain. I mean, once he steps on the scene and you see Terry Silvers look at Daniel LaRusso, man, that 80s fury just comes back in his eyes. You really do see it. And once again, not even seeing the sequels, I could tell he hated this guy. And that being said, I really did like the character of Terry Silvers. I thought he was a menacing villain in this series, even a little more menacing at times than John Kreese. And that is saying a lot. But just like Johnny and Daniel, at times throughout the series, they do butt heads because their way of teaching Cobra Kai is a little different, even though they kind of come from the same cloth. Little bit different, I will just say that. So we get to see a little bit of turmoil and tension along the way in season 4 for those two characters. Also, another character I did like seeing, who usually just kind of popped in and out of the series previous, is Amanda LaRusso, played by Courtney Hengler. Now, I do really like this actor. I think she does an amazing job as a mother, a very strong mother, especially coming from a family of Miyagi-Do. I mean, you have to be strong. You have to be that strong counterpart, and I thought she did great in this series. But she does kind of test the waters, especially by dipping her little toe a little bit in different dojos, which creates a little more conflict, and it, you know, definitely does stir up the waters once again. But I liked kind of her integral parts in season 4. Now, jumping to Miguel Diaz, played by Zolo Maridueña, who to me has become the face of the Cobra Kai series alongside Robby. It's very close with these two guys. You really don't know who to root for in their situations. For me, at least, in Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do or Eagle Fang Karate, whichever dojo he decides to jump to this series, I really do like Miguel, and he is starting to mature in this one. He looks a lot different. That was the first thing I noticed, is that he has a different hairstyle. His build is a lot bigger, so this guy's been pumping some weight since last season. But we are still getting a nice balance and a nice story arc based around Miguel, because a lot of things are going on. A lot more personal things are going on with Miguel and Johnny, for that matter, and we get to see some deep interaction finally, something I was waiting for. Besides just more kicking and punching from these characters, I wanted to see depth. I wanted to see realism from these characters, and by the end of season 4, we get that, especially in Miguel and Johnny once again. Not alluding to any spoilers, but they do have some amazing moments together on screen. All right, now next up, season 4 does focus a lot on Samantha LaRusso, played by Mary Mouser. Now, you want to talk about stirring up the waters a bit? Samantha did a lot of that, and Miguel too. I mean, these guys were dating multiple people that they were dating themselves, and it became like just really funny teen drama at times. And they were just moving too fast. At least for me, I remember in high school, just, hey, I was still afraid to talk to girls at times. And I guess what I'm trying to say is we get to see a lot more of Sam in this season 4. Though I will say this is the season where she kind of disappointed me at times. But I know that they're writing her story arc to kind of form into different things, so you care for her in a different way than you possibly did in the last season. I will just say that. But she was doing too much. I will just say she was doing too much. And there was a couple of times where we just stared at the screen and we're like, oh, Sam! But I do like this character a lot, as she is the daughter of Daniel LaRusso. And I'll just say once again, she tests the waters a bit. And there are a couple of scenes that are definitely over dramatic, and the acting was just a bit overdone. And once again, no spoilers, guys, but we do get to see in the trailer that was released by Netflix for season 4 that there's another All Valley tournament. Okay, like I get the point. That's cool. That's the whole motivation for training and introducing new characters, is to get to this point, which, I mean, it's a real thing. I know they have yearly, annual, or even probably biannual huge tournaments in real life where students can go compete and show off their skills. Once again, we get another All Valley under 18 tournament, but this time it is flipped on its head, and they even allude to that in the trailer, as far as it's not going to be just straight up fighting one-on-one. There's a little more to it, and I kind of liked it. But I think we're all ultimately here to see one-on-one fighting, punching and kicking and grappling, because a lot of these actors, you can tell they were not using stunt doubles, and that's what I like to see. Once again, extremely talented young individuals that we're getting to see, and I think that's what most of us are here to see, is the fighting. Yeah, of course there's going to be deeper conflict than that, emotional battles they are going through, but the battle on the mat is what we're here for. And I think by the time we get to the last episode, you guys will be pleasantly surprised once again. Though some of you guys may think this is all recycled, this is a part of the karate lifestyle, and once again, if they keep introducing interesting character arcs, I think I will keep engaged for future seasons. But those are my thoughts on season 4, guys. Are you excited to see it when it does come out on December 31st, 2021? Or if you are watching this video after the fact, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below, and where do you rank this season amongst the others? I would love to hear your thoughts once again in the comments below. And once again, shouts out to Netflix for allowing me to watch this series early. And before you guys leave, make sure if you do like content like this, you are hitting that big thumbs up to like the video. It's the best way to support the channel, and it does spread these videos out to those that aren't subscribed. And if you yourself aren't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe and bell notification down below to always get alerted about future content like this. All right, guys, till next one, I'm gone. Peace.